Alrighty guys, for 2024, you guys asked for it. You guys asked for a merch drop for the channel. I'm officially releasing a whole bunch of merch for you guys. Go cop one. I'm gonna have a link in the description and up here. It will help the channel keep getting builds like this and keep throwing more parts and all this fun stuff that you guys like watching. I do appreciate the support like always. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're diving back on the ZX6R. In the previous video we made lots of big progress. I'm super happy about that, but today we have a tougher job to tackle. Well, almost a tougher job, I'm not sure. You guys let me know. I think it's going to be a very interesting video because this is going to entail a very different repair that I'm used to doing, and I'm going to tackle it and see how exactly it turns out because I'm not actually sure myself. So without much more talking, let's jump right into it. Previous video we popped out all the dents in this tank using the tool that VEVOR sent us. Then I sent this tank to get welded. I was not there for that because I was just very busy, but he was not able to weld it because the holes were in such close proximity, and when he was welding, just with the heat, it was just not possible to get it done. So he ended up throwing this patch on here for me, welded it all around completely. I'm happy with that. I think this is going to be very good. This is just one of those cases where you live and learn. Knowing what I know now, if I was supposed to do this repair again on a different tank, I would go about it completely differently. But that's just life. You live and you learn. Like I said, all of this is welded up. It will require some body work, obviously, to get it to where we need it to be. Same for this side and for this side. Right now we have the tank out here. It looks like this tank has had some repairs done because I was trying to break down the high spots over here and some body fluid started cracking. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this with some 80 grit sandpaper, bring it down as low as possible, see what the tank looks like after doing that, and then maybe we can get some body work going. Alrighty guys, that took a minute, but we finally have that gas tank cleaned up. So I have brought it down to metal on most parts over here. As you can see, I brought it down to metal. Same for this side, same for the patch. Obviously, I scuffed it up to get it ready for that body filler. Same from the front over here. I brought everything down to make it easier to feather this area over here and make it part of this body panel. So hopefully this turns out good. Same thing over here, brought it down. Everything is prepped and ready to receive some body filler. Like I said, the goal is to feather this out and make sure everything blends in nice and good. Hopefully it turns out good. Without much more talking, let's get to work. Now I'm going to start mixing the bundle so we can start laying it down on that tank. Alright guys, quick update. I'm still at it, still sanding. It is very tedious, and I am doing all of this by hand because I do not want to use the orbital sander. It goes too fast, and then you're just making more problems with something like this that has lots of curves, lots of grooves. It just wouldn't be a great idea. This area over here is good. This is perfect. This area over here is pretty good. I am gonna need to fill some pinholes just like this one over here and hit it with some high build primer and sand it one more time. I'm currently working on this side, as you can see, just trying to blend it all in nice and good. There was a dent over here. I'm gonna need to throw some more body filler over here and sand all of this and just feather it in like I said before. So it is a work in progress. It is quite tedious doing body work like I said before, but this is we're getting somewhere, so that's a good thing.
Years later.
Alright guys, we currently have the tank over here. I've sanded it to the point that I'm satisfied with the body work that's been done on this tank so far. As you can see, I've feathered all the edges. Everything is looking nice and good all around. Super happy about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and scuff off the remaining paint in this tank and then get this ready to throw some primer and everything. Alright guys, we're back in the garage. A lot of work got done on the gas tank. That is ready to receive paint. I'm not certain I'm going to paint it just yet because I might have other plans for that gas tank to make it look nice and good. But that's going to come in later in the video or in the next video. Right now we have the bike over here. I'm going to change the filter and the fuel pump, install that on the gas tank, toss it on the bike so we can start this bike up and make sure it does run. If you do recall, in the earlier videos we removed the engine from this motorcycle and it has not been started up since then. So I just want to make sure everything was installed correctly. So without much more talking, I'm going to cut you guys on, replace that fuel filter and the fuel pump, get that installed, and then we're going to throw some gas in it and see if this baby works. Now I'm going to start taking this apart. First hardware, second one. This pops off. And you just want to gently pry over here to get it separated. I'm going to disconnect the wires like so. We can set this aside. So now we have that fuel pump ready to come out. Now we're going to slide out the top section like so, and we have the fuel filter down here. So as you can see, the fuel filter is actually not bad. This is not the worst one I've seen yet. We have the replacement one over here, so I'm going to go ahead and toss this in and we can reassemble this like so. I'm going to grab it, wiggle it out like so, and we're ready to toss the new one in same way it came out. Alright guys, now as you can see, we have the new fuel filter in place. This is the old one out, so I'm just going to quickly close this up, then we can toss it in the tank, throw some gas in it, and then try out this motorcycle. So the next thing we're going to do is reinstall that fuel pump in this gas tank. But before we do that, as you can see, I have removed this fairing kit on this side. Obviously, because we did forget one tiny detail, and that is throwing some coolants in this motorcycle. So now that is out, we're able to put some coolants in this bike. I currently have the heat gun going over here. Warm up that oil a little bit, so when we start it up, it starts easier and runs proper. I know it's a bit of a redneck way to do it, but it's better to get it done so this bike starts easier because it hasn't started in a very long time. And let's just throw on the fuel pump in the gas tank. I'm gonna flip this over. Install the O-ring for the fuel pump, and now the fuel pump goes in. And now I'm going to reinstall the hardware. Now I'm ready to reinstall the gas tank. Now we're going to go ahead and add some coolant. All right, now as you can see, we have that coolant all the way to the top of the radiator. There's nothing in the overflow tank just yet. I'm going to top that off, install the radiator cap, throw some gas in here, and start it up. Okay, now adding some gas. Now we have gas in the tank. I'm just gonna reinstall the fuel tank lid.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
All right, guys, unfortunately, there is some bad news. So I put the gas in the gas tank. I had that all set up and I was going to try to start the bike. And this is what happened. The key snapped in it. I was able to remove the other broken piece. I did have a feeling that this was going to happen at some point. So as you can see, I picked up a few blank keys to cut, but I didn't cut it in time. And now we cannot start the bike, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It is the weekend right now, or it is weekend right now, so I can't get this cut. I'm gonna go get this keys cut so we can start this bike. And here how she runs. I should have done this, but I didn't, and now we have a broken key. Really sucks because I was hoping to have this bike started and listen to what it sounds like, but it is what it is. We're not gonna give up right now, obviously. We're gonna wait to have those cut, and then we can continue with this. Unfortunately, I went to Home Depot and Canadian Tire, and none of those businesses will cut the key for you, even if you have a blank, which is really shitty. And the only option to do this would be the dealer. I called the dealer. They will not cut the blank key for you. They want you to cut one of their key. Obviously, it drives the cost way up. So since I have these blank keys over here, my goal is to figure out a way to cut it by myself at home. Wish me luck, guys. Right now, as you can see, I have a little setup going over here. I am pretty sure you can guess what I'm about to do. I'm about to try to cut my own key. Since I have everything I need over here, it's better for me to give this a shot before I go run into the dealer. We're gonna get to work. As you can see, I picked up this bench vise. I actually picked this up a while ago while I was trying to make the brackets for the bike. I just ended up not using it because I was able to get it done the way I had it. But now I'm going to use this to create a stable platform. Okay, so let's get to it real quick. All right, guys, so what you see right now is I have taken that broken key. I've used a vise to hold it to a blank key, a brand new one over here. And my goal is to put this on a bench vise and try and trace it to make a duplicate key. Not sure if this is going to work, but hey, might as well try it out. So I'm going to set you guys on the time lapse and get to work on this. All right, guys, it looks like I got it pretty good. If the camera is going to focus, the broken one is right on top, as you can see. And it looks like I got it pretty good, but there's only one way to find out. So now we're going to see if this works. Hey, moment of truth. No, we got nothing. That sucks. The key that you guys saw me cut on camera unfortunately did not work. It is what it is. So right now I'm trying to figure out alternative means to get this key cut. I did call a couple locksmiths. I have found one that's really close to me. I have a couple more blanks, as you guys are aware of. I'm going to go over there, see if I can get a key cut. If I can, excellent. And then we're going to see what's going to happen. Let's head out over there, go get a key cut and see if it's going to work on this bike.
A few moments later.
So as you obviously know, we cut a key. That did not work out, unfortunately. So right now, my goal is to remove this ignition assembly, bring it over to that locksmith and see if they can make a key for me that way. I think that's my only option right now. Let's jump right to it. Man, oh man, that was a battle. I gotta tell you guys, just to get this ignition harness unplugged in here, I had to go ahead and open everything up. As you can see, the airbox is open. I had to dig in there. Super, super uncomfortable. But as you can see, we have the ignition harness finally disconnected. It was a pain. So right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the top clamp over here. So we can remove this piece and just stick it over there and see if they can make us a key for this bike. Because without a key, it's no good. Literally, all the work we've put into this would be absolutely no good. So let's quickly pop this off, get it over there, and see if they can make us a key. All right, guys, as you can see, we have the complete triple tree assembly out with the ignition over here. The goal is to get a key made for this bike ultimately so we can start it up and hear what she sounds like. So without much more talking, tomorrow we're going to head out over there, see if we can get a key made. If we can, excellent. I'm dying to hear this thing start up. Like I really want this thing to be started up. So let's just get to it.
10 years later.
All right, guys, it's another day. And of course, we're back in the garage. Lots of stuff has happened. So really quickly, I'm going to talk to you guys about the progress working on the ZX6R. So I took this apart to completely remove this ignition assembly to go have a key made. And I am happy to say we finally have one made. And I got to tell you, it was a bit of a process. There was lots of going back and forth trying to figure out what exactly was going on. And when we did, we were able to make a key and I'm super happy about that. So just like I showed you guys, I had a few blanks for the Kawasaki keys. I was able to use that in the past and I had some left over and I intended to use that on the ZX6R. But I took those keys to the locksmith. We cut two of them on two separate occasions and they did not work. The locksmith was able to provide me a key from their collection. We cut it and it works. It's not a Kawasaki key, but it's a key that's going to work on this motorcycle. So it's one step in the right direction. And as you can see with the key in the ignition, that works flawlessly. So now we have to put all of this back together, reinstall the ignition, everything, pretty much everything back to where it was, and get ready to crank this bike. All right, guys, we have everything loosely fitted. For the most part, everything up here is installed, secured, and torqued to specification. I have the tank back on right now. So now is the time we've all been waiting for. Will this bike start? Because we have not started it since we reinstalled the engine back in this motorcycle. Let's see what happens. That was close. Obviously, there's no gas on the system, so we're gonna let it circulate a little bit. All right, guys, as you've seen, it started up right away. It does smell like gasoline in here, terribly bad. And just as you can see, the exhaust is still smoking. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bike outside, start it up, run it up to temp so that coolant can circulate, and then we can top it off if need be. All right, guys, we're now outside. We have the bike over here. We now know it starts up, so that's really good. I'm gonna start it up, let it run up to temp, and then see what needs to be done. Bike's still running. It's currently at 98 degrees Celsius. The fan just kicked on, so it is at operating temp. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off, let it settle. Now we can top up the coolant. Back in the garage, guys, as you can see, the motorcycle ran for the very first time in months, and it's ran excellent. There's no complaints over there. We now have coolant completely circulated in the bike. That's really good. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support. Make sure you go check out those merch, guys. Copy one for yourself, for your brother, your sister, your wife. Everyone should get one. It will really help the channels keep getting awesome builds like this. On that note, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature.